My name is Bran Ramsey. I work in the arts, which requires me to live in the urban center of Toronto. I live next to this dumpster in this tiny 2-bedroom apartment. It's great because we have like the greenery, the garden. It's good for oxygen, reminding us that, you know, nature's important. I've always been drawn to the remote wilderness, so I'm heading out to the backcountry to see what life is like for young and progressive people living off the beaten path. Backcountry hustles a show about people living sustainable and alternative lifestyles in remote pockets throughout North America. And we go this way?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it! I know firsthand what it's like to feel the call of the wild, open spaces, and self-reliance that is hard to find in the city. I'm a proud member of the LGBTQ community and have developed a strong empathy for the harsh reality that rural settings are not always overly welcoming to the other. I want to meet people dipping their toes into a world they might not normally have found. Okay, what should we do? Should we go to Starbucks? Is there a Starbucks in this town? A lot of rocks, a lot of driftwood. I'm not just talking about the people. I'm just kidding. I'm about to start this journey and I feel excited, nervous, and I'm scared that I'm gonna like how other people are living their lives and the city will be ruined for me. My name's Bran Ramsey and you're watching Backcountry Hustle. We drove 7 hours from Yellowknife to come see Caroline Cox in her cabin. This is it. It looks super cute. Let's go see if anyone's home. Hello? Caroline? We've come a long way to get to this really remote cabin with no cell service, no running water, and no electricity. I'm really curious to see what it takes to live out here and to meet Caroline. Hello?
Hi. Come in.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming to visit my tiny home.
What a beautiful cabin.
I know.
Oh my God, it's so cute in here.
It's very cute.
Oh, wow.
My name's Caroline Cox, and we're at my cabin, which is on the Liard River, 7 hours from Yellowknife, in a small homestead community called Lindbergh Landing. So this is it, my little cabin. It's 13 feet square, and it's very cozy.
It's very cozy, yeah.
No electricity, no plumbing, no cell service, but it's definitely a great place for me to write and be creative. So I'm literally like 20 feet from the bank of the Liard River, and it's just so beautiful. And I really love waking up in the morning, just being immersed in nature. It's quite quiet. I can just make coffee and sit by the river. I don't know, I feel very lucky to have that access to nature. I know not everybody in the world does. And it's very grounding, and it gives me a lot of time to think and like recharge me for when I go back out into the world. And then the community, like just being able to meet my neighbors and see what they've been harvesting and bring what I've been harvesting, and having these community meals together from food that is just locally sourced. Again, like I think we're very lucky. Not everyone has access to land the way we do. So a typical day out here is a little different than in the city because some of the modern conveniences that are lacking here just require a little extra work. So I have to make sure I have clean, fresh drinking water, which the well is 10 kilometers away. So sometimes I have to drive out and get water. So also part of not having plumbing means that when I'm able to grow a garden, if I'm here for the full summer, I have to physically bring the water to my garden if it's been dry and there isn't enough rain, or especially when I plant the garden. So today I'm going to take water from my rain barrel and with buckets, bring it over to the garden. And it's very buggy. It's a little bit insane, like is driving me insane, the amount of bugs that are out here this summer. But I need to get these little seedlings watered, so it's a bit more work than if I just turned on a hose, but it'll be worth it in the fall when I have some nice fresh food from my garden. Have a seat, have a seat.
Thank you. Oh, it's tight back here.
I know. Yeah, this cabin was actually built by an old timer, I guess you could say. He's in his 80s now.
Oh, wow.
But the cabin was built about 40 years ago.
Wow.
The same age as me.
Birthday gift to you.
I know, exactly.
It's almost your birthright to have
Almost.
purchased and have lived in this little cabin. Your bed's on an old hospital frame.
Mm-hmm. And in the last couple of years, I upgraded from a single mattress to a double. So it's a double mattress on a single frame. And I like under the loft, I can hang a bug net if I need to, so that I don't get eaten alive, because it can be very buggy here in the summer. And also in the winter, if there's mice in the cabin. I just like having that bug net psychologically as like just so I know nothing's gonna crawl on me at night. So, and yeah, let's see. So there's the bedroom, the living room, the office, and then the kitchen where I have a camp stove. And yeah, so mostly cook with stovetop. I try to cook on the wood stove. It doesn't get really hot on the top. So maybe at best like a long simmering soup.
Yeah.
But it is a great little stove for such a small cabin. And if I pack it right, I can get about 8 hours in the winter on a good night. But usually I have to get up in the middle of the night to stoke the fire.
Oh.
But it's really great for just like a getaway in the woods. That really is my own little place. That's quite affordable and compact and quaint.
Feminine.
I like to have a little bit of femininity to it. It's not it's a little rough and tumble out here. So I like when my cabin is just like a little bit serene. Light my candles at night, have my little fairy lights, and then I go out in the day and cut wood and haul water and play in the mud. So I've been living out here for about 10 years, and I'm currently 39. And when I first moved out here, I was a touring musician, but now I actually am a filmmaker. So my job requires me to travel quite a bit. So this is sort of like my home base when I'm not out on the road. The other day, a giant tree fell, but 10, 15 feet from my cabin. As crazy as it is that this giant tree fell about 20 feet from my cabin, it's actually kind of good in a way because I'm running really low on firewood. So today I'm cutting all the branches off the tree with an axe and preparing it to get bucked up. This wood will come in really handy in the winter when it's starting to get cold and I'm waking up at 3 in the morning and it's minus 20 out. It'd be nice to have some wood. My safety goggles are fogging up. All right, now I just gotta wait for the chainsaw to show up. Bucking up a log is just a term for using a chainsaw to cut the big tree into smaller pieces that are short enough that they'll fit into the wood stove. My neighbor Wayne has come to help me saw this tree into manageable logs that then I can cut into firewood, as the fall and winter come up. So it's a lot of work, but I would definitely appreciate having someone help with the assistance of a gas-powered chainsaw. I don't know if I'd really be able to do this on my own.
Is there any advice you would give to someone wanting to leave the city and do what you're doing?
It's such a personal journey to make a big shift like this. And so I think my advice to someone who wants to do it would be to find maybe a community of other people who have similar interests, or talk to other folks you know who have done something similar. But to really just find the courage to to break out of the mold, because I think it can be very intimidating. And I think society is set up in a way where they actually kind of frown upon people living alternative lifestyles and having alternative income sources. But probably at the end of the day, you more than likely will be happier. So yeah, you will figure it out, and you'll find your groove, and you'll find where it is that you're supposed to be. But the biggest thing is just taking that first step. So summoning that courage and going for it.
Caroline was right. We're pretty remote out here, so it's time to put some gas in the car and hit the road. Next stop, Dawson City, Yukon.